Questions you want to ask, tweet us in. Mr. Zamora, welcome.
Yeah, congratulations.
Star City Open Legacy Champion Nathan Zamora, everybody. Here he is.
Buddy.
That's his trophy. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
How's it feel?
You know, I don't want to say I expected to win, because I didn't. But it feels pretty good to finally get a victory after years.
You had an awesome deck for this tournament.
Tell
us about it.
It turned out pretty well. I played a little bit on Magic Online to make sure things ran smoothly. And then when I got here, I changed a couple cards, and that was a bad idea.
Right.
So
usually is for the tournament.
So
What'd you change?
I added a Green Sun Zenith, and the board just kept changing constantly. So I ended up my board plan was not very smooth, but it worked out pretty well. I only decided in surgicals like twice the whole day.
Yeah, and you decided on the full set of 4. What were they mainly there for?
Like I feel like there was going to be a lot more Dredge and Reanimator than I faced. I could have just not faced very much. I don't know if you've seen the deck breakdown. But obviously graveyard removal is very good against them. You apply a little bit of pressure, and then a minor amount of disruption will usually offset it. So and then like weird matches that have like combos and then like Painter Servant or something. Right. You kill one piece and then you surgical, and they have almost literally no chance to win.
Beat down with Simian Spirit Guide type of thing. It doesn't usually work.
Yeah, you leave in the punishing fires. So.
Yeah. So what would you change about it?
I'd take out the Ooze and the Green Sun Zenith for
Really?
sure. I'm not
Really
sure what
good.
I'd add. The Ooze was like real bad the whole day. That was one of the things I added too, and it was just like, why is this in here? It was just like a grizzly bear the whole day.
Right.
And it was like, why is this in here? Like,
It's sort of weird because we've seen that card overperforming, but in this deck it just doesn't really seem like it fits the theme
it just
of
doesn't.
it.
You just don't need it.
Right.
Like if your opponent's gonna graveyard you, you're just like, all right,
Graveyard you back.
Yeah. Here we go.
Now, were you concerned at all? Because you obviously had brought in a lot of graveyard fearing Dredge. Were you afraid other people would do the same thing?
Sort of, but I didn't really feel like it would affect me too much because, like, I feel like if they're going to bring in a lot of graveyard hate, that they have to start ignoring something somewhere, and so it's pretty hard to ignore, like, the whole deck. It's kind of easy to play around surgical,
Right.
Because you just keep a grove open, and then you keep open like a cycle land or something, and then like Dark Confidant is incredible when people start bringing in graveyard hate because they're just like.
They mulligan
No way-
themselves.
they have
with
no way to
graveyard
kill
hate.
Dark
Yeah,
Draw
and they're just,
extras.
like if they don't kill it, if they don't kill it, it's game over pretty much always.
Right.
But like once they have the graveyard hate, it's even worse because a lot of them are like paying 2 life, so like it gives me like just every little tick keeps adding up, and I think eventually it's just too much for them to overcome. Like sometimes graveyard hate's bad, but I think Relic of Progenitus would probably be the worst one.
Oh yeah.
And
Shuts
then,
off Tarmogoyf.
but it shuts off. Yeah, it shuts off the Tarm, and it shuts off like Terravore. I'd love to have more, but it's like drawing multiples of them is so bad.
Right.
Sometimes you just like the one is enough, and then like it's really hard to kill as it is, obviously, and like just like having 2 in your hand, you're just like, wow, why is this in here?
Yeah. Pretty interesting. The deck just attacks from so many angles. For example, your quarterfinals opponent, we saw him just agonize about what cards to board in. He had so many ways to fight so many of your spells, but not all of them at once.
Right. I think that's probably the biggest strength of it is that there's so many things you have to combat. It's sort of like you just have to have a deck that naturally does well against it,
Right.
as opposed to like there being a reasonable sideboard plan against it, because it's like blowing up my graveyard only works for so long.
Exactly.
And
You didn't even draw Loam in that top 8 that we saw. Not much.
I drew it against the second round opponent
Right.
who chaliced for 2, and I drew 3 of them.
Still won the tournament, though.
Yeah, I got past that match somehow. I was permanentless for like 7 turns in game 2.
Wow.
And he had like a smokestack and like a
Sounds
metal
like a match we
worker.
should have
and-
covered.
It was just like I don't even remember it really. I just kind of like remember like things being there, and I'm like, I don't have any permanents. And I'm just like, oh, whatever. I'll just keep playing. No reason to quit.
Exactly.
So
Now, Sam CR asked, what are your thoughts on Countryside Crusher in the deck?
I think that people playing Countryside Crusher is probably the biggest error they've been making with the deck.
Really.
It's like a 3-mana 3/3. Like it gets bolted.
Would you rather add another Terravore than a Countryside?
Yes, but I probably wouldn't add another Terravore. I'd probably want something more like it'd be really nice to have like some extra removal. Weirdly enough, I think Rashadenport wouldn't be that bad.
Really?
Because like people will like go get basics to try to like fight you, and you're just like, all right, like you have so much extra mana all the time that you're waiting till you hit something. So like I think like 2 or 3 Rashadenports would not only would it help the mana, it gives you extra stuff to discard for Mox Diamond, but it's just like it'll shut off the basics, and then shutting off the basics, they're like, we just kill them by non-basics, porting my basics, like what is going? Like then they have to choose like, do I waste the port or do I waste a grove?
Right.
Like that was the other thing too is I see people running lightning bolts instead of punishing fires. It just makes no sense.
Especially in a deck that you're going to play so many
Right.
lands anyway.
It just doesn't make sense. Like if everyone's playing Wild Mikado, sure, play lightning bolt.
Right.
But obviously that deck's been diffused for the time being.
Yeah.
So like the extra advantage you get from it's just a win condition.
Right.
So it relieves a lot of the pressure from Wasteland because they have to waste your groves, and then so it's really hard to get into land trouble, really.
Okay.
The few times you do, though, it's pretty impossible to win.
Yeah. So if this deck starts doing well at more events, how would you suggest people fight it?
Like, not care about what you do combo decks that just kind of go all in, like Charbelcher, I think would be really bad.
Oh yeah.
Because they're just kind of like, ugh! I'm like,
Life from home?
you got it. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's 14 goblins. You done?
Punishing fire, one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm at 7.
Okay.
You done?
So why the Empire?
It's the Empire. It's got everything.
Nice.
Fair enough.
It's the Empire.
But you have Han Solo sleeves.
It's the Empire. Well, he's shooting first, so.
Okay. Fair enough. That explains everything.
You received a lot of compliments this weekend on your Han Solo sleeves.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone I played was always like, wow, that's Han Solo. I'm like, yeah, and he's shooting first. And they're like, wow, he's shooting first.
Did you ever convince anyone to let you go choose player draw up because you had Han Solo sleeves?
I did. I actually didn't even think about that. I probably should have done it.
That would be a
like,
nice
well, he's
trick.
shooting first, so I get to go first, right?
Just play your land. Don't enroll. Like, shot first.
Just play a land and go.
Yeah.
Shot first.
Awesome.
What are they gonna do? All right.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
man.
congratulations.
Nathan Zamora, your legacy Open champion. Yeah, well, let's get a clap for Nathan there.
Yeah,
Trophy.
literally.
Trophy to the camera.
Literally,
There it
5 or 6 people are here clapping.
Yeah.
So now you're qualified for the Invitational.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you're
It
gonna-
just occurred to me now.
We already have one in Baltimore in 2 weeks.
Okay.
We have another one in Indianapolis in, I believe, June.
Okay. Am I
And-
qualified for
Anyone
just the
you
Baltimore?
want.
Oh, anyone I
Anyone
want.
you want
Oh,
to.
perfect. Indianapolis.
Yep, and there's
There's more that haven't been announced
right
yet.
two more have not been announced this year. So we don't,
When's the Indianapolis one?
it's sometime in June.
Middle of June.
How, did you just update it whenever and on the site?
The date is here.
Yeah,
Let me find it.
I don't remember the exact date off the top of my head.
Either way, though, you are qualified for one, and you can choose whichever one you want.
Right.
That's a
so,
multi-
we'll probably find out before that one where the next one is. So,
Yeah.
Being in Texas, obviously, Indianapolis is probably a bit of a hike. So there might be something a bit closer if that
It's
appeals to you
Indianapolis,
more.
though.
Yeah, it is Indianapolis. It is a.
Shoeless is there, right?
Yeah. Who's that?
Shoeless Steakhouse.
Oh, I don't know.
It's
Actually.
a really good steakhouse.
Never
I don't
been
know
there.
I think it was Indianapolis.
Well, if a Texan's
be.
saying it's a good steakhouse.
Yeah, that's something. So the Indianapolis Invitational is.
Either way, on the Star City site, you can look it up later. I can't
Yeah,
navigate
do it yourself. Lazy jerks.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Nathan Zamora, your Legacy Open champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Sam Stoddard, Zach Hall, we've had a crazy weekend
Yeah,
here.
it's been a wonderful weekend of matches.
Yeah. Next week, what's our stop?
Next week we're in Sacramento, I believe.
Sacramento.
Yeah,
Cool.
sunny Sacramento.
Yep. Adrian Sullivan, Matthias Hunt will be commentating there
Yeah.
for you. Tune in. But until then, Zach Hall, Sam Stoddard,
Signing out.
signing off. Dallas Open.